going back online.
Timber!
So now the people that are watching later, they're missing your mother's story. The story about your mother.
Yeah, that's a pity. I'm not gonna rephrase it, though.
No, we're not gonna rephrase that. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining, of course, the weekly Assassin's Creed Shadow show with your boy Frankie Boy 13, and Fragnard is also his name, and he has other names as well, but we'll keep it at that. Thanks everyone for joining. Of course, this is the final episode of the year because Frankie Boy's like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
I'm out.
I'm out. You're gonna rest up before the crazy January, right?
It's gonna be insane. January is gonna be insane, of course. Since I'm doing a master's studies, I also have like 5 papers I have to hand in January because
What?
February is haunting me.
Oh, so they are planned for February, but you want to like finish them in January.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
Exactly.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
This
It's
man
gonna
is
be
doing
insane.
a master studies. He's like doing multiple YouTube channels and has a life as well, or is that like not a thing anymore?
I have a life since I
Whoa.
quit streaming. Yeah.
Hey, and you still make the time for this lovely stream every Wednesday. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very bulky thing in my calendar, and I look at it, oh, that Jordan thingy again.
And then every Wednesday I call you and like, no. But yeah.
No, I'm super happy. I'm having the time of my life here in the stream, of
Oh,
course,
wow.
with you.
That's
And
cool.
your lovely viewers out there. So,
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining as always. So yeah, we've been like saying it, of course, like with the delay for Shadows. The plan was, of course, to do this every week, and then yeah, there was not a lot of info. We do have some interesting info today. I want to go over some of the AMA. There was like last week, right when we went offline, an AMA with the developers. Want to throw in some interesting info from that, and we still have one thing that I want to talk about as well, which is the most important info from one of the blog posts they did. We just have not discussed that yet, and I think before the end of the year, that's kind of nice to go over because it also includes some information that was not in these blog posts, but that we learned thanks to some leaks. Like, let's immediately throw it out there to you.
Far
Did
Cry
you
7.
know?
Also.
Did you know that there are only 2 gear pieces this time?
Whoa, no.
So in your inventory, you only have your headpiece and an outfit. There are no
Nah.
gloves, no legs,
Eh,
and no chest piece.
eh.
Oh, you don't like that?
Nah, I'm the fan of huge armor sets that you can collect, like all the things you find. It simply reminds me of like maybe Mirage, where they simplified it. Yeah, they seem to go that route as well.
No, I mean Origins had what Mirage had. It is like a little more. There's a bit more depth than a Mirage or Origins, but yeah, the Odyssey and Valhalla had 5 pieces, and now we're going back to 2.
Mm. I preferred the many pieces. I think it made so much more possible regarding sets in Valhalla. You could like do 2 set bonus and have 2 pieces of a set each, and then have 2 set bonuses and combine those, while also being possible to have like a 4-piece bonus. Right now, I'm curious if it will be like a bonus as well for like the 2 combined items, or if we will have like a single thing maybe being legit as well, like maybe having a Shinobi hood on the head, but a silk jacket for the torso rest. I don't know.
Yeah, we have not seen weird combinations. Like so far, they've only shown like real armor sets. Of course, one of the highlights I think is the one that now where she's like here, this one, the black
The
and
red.
red. Yeah.
Is it blood or is it?
No, I think it's like
it's the cloth.
yeah, she has a bit of blood, but it's not. It is mostly the cloth as well.
I mean, that's the recipe to get your attention to make something red, like Assassin's Creed Red, and
That's why they
Red.
did it. Do you know that? That's why they named it. That's why they did the code name Red.
It is like everybody at Ubisoft was like paying close attention to your videos, and then seeing this man he likes the red outfits.
Yeah, for
We're
sure.
gonna do a red outfit.
Red eye, red. No, the red eye is dead to me.
But yeah, that's looking awesome. Also, we talked about the silk outfit that Yasuke was wearing in one fight, right?
Yeah.
Where he had just like the clothy things. I'm curious if it will have like a significant bonus though. If it will make sense to wear that kind of clothing, because just from the looks, I would say it would be stupid to wear it in a fight.
Yeah, because of course his thing is kind of like armor, having a lot of defense, and if you then use this outfit instead, that is maybe not smart. But I would argue that, I mean, we know there's transmog, so that's already an issue that you can solve.
And I also noted that he only had like 2 adrenaline points at this stage, where he was wearing the silky thing. Maybe it's early in the game or so.
Where he's not like a samurai yet. Or
Maybe, yeah. And at the later stage, he is having like 5 points, so.
Yeah, that's right.
And is wearing proper armor. Or maybe we can get adrenaline points through armor as well. Might be possible.
Oh yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah, but that would not be smart because of course the adrenaline points are very powerful. Although to be fair though, like you have 5. We of course have one of these scenes right here where like we know there are only 3 abilities you can use. So if you have like 5 ability points and the abilities go on cooldown as well, that feels like kind of a lot. Because you will not be using adrenaline points to heal anymore. It will have like a Valhalla system where you use some food or something. So maybe 5 is already a bit of an overkill. So you can maybe go for an outfit with different perks that maybe has less adrenaline slots. Could be interesting for sure. But yeah, I think I'm kind of 2 minds regarding the 2 pieces, because it can make... So, for example, here in this footage, we see that there's like a chest icon or like a chest, like many chests inside the building, and there are probably some bigger chests with some loot. Like I think a lot of this is just materials, but there's probably a loot chest in there as well. And that means that if you find a loot chest that contains gear, you always know it's exciting. You always know, whoa, this is gonna be a cool headpiece, or this is gonna be a full-on outfit. So in Valhalla, you would sometimes do a puzzle that it takes like 10 minutes to only find like the Thane armor, like the gloves, that did not have any interesting perks, or like something like that, right? And then it did not really feel that exciting in my experience. While right now in Shadows, you do know if you see a loot chest, okay, it's gonna be something cool. It's gonna be either a weapon, a headpiece, or like a full chest armor.
Or it's gonna be a tungsten bar.
I hope those chests are different. I hope those chests are different.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, maybe they will be different. But yeah, having like increasing the value of such treasures really makes sense, because as you just stated, at some point it felt pointless to at least
to look for the bar
to
door
go
again.
for them,
and find the key close by. So if you know there's always something valuable in there, I think that could be really cool. We, by the way, also learned that you can upgrade all armors. So I hope that's kind of exciting. Let's insert some AMA stuff. Did you look at a lot of it or not?
No. I unfortunately went back to The Witcher as soon as I took note of that, and the rest of the world was gone for me, because The Witcher is like the best game in the world still, and you need to play it as well.
I will one day. I still have some time, because Witcher 4... I mean, I played it. I just haven't finished it. But Witcher 4 is still far away. And we joked about it last week, where we said, of course, like, Witcher, it's gonna happen. And then it happened, so, hey.
Then it happens, yeah.
Trust
that
us.
was a great prediction, and we do a prediction every week, so...
Yeah. Okay, you remember, everyone, we last week shared a link in the chat, and then Uh, it is worth noting that these are Helix items, of course. So it's probably not an outfit we can earn in the game. Although we still have to wait and see how that whole Reda system is gonna work, right? Because we will be able to get Helix items for free again. And it seems like that the system is gonna be better this time around. Because it seems like Ubisoft will just have a... I mean, that's probably gonna be kind of similar. But it depends on... the sort of it seems like they will still have a weekly selection, but I hope it's like way more fleshed out than just the few items that Reda was selling. Okay.
But yeah, are you sure about that thing that it's like proven by that screenshot of potential microtransactions, that it's only going to be a 2-set thing? Or I mean, they could have also like split it up with the screenshots, right?
Sure. But I don't know. I don't like. There was another reason why I thought it, but I'm not sure why anymore. I mean, it seems kind of that there have just been many items like that, and there are no like just gloves, and the gloves are included on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it seems like there are only 2 pieces this time around.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I liked Origins anyway, so there's still hope for the game, I would say, though.
Yeah, and it seems like they are doing more in terms of like upgrades to your character. Like we still have to wait and see, but I'm for one, yeah, I like having, instead of like making a build with like 5 gear pieces, they're now going to 2. That does sound like a big downgrade, but I still think that we have to wait and see how it's gonna play out. Because if those 2 pieces are way more impactful, you got your trinket now as well. So that is a new piece that, of course, in Mirage was only cosmetic. In Shadows, it does seem to have things. Although it could only be like, it could also be just a 5% XP increase or something. So maybe it's not that impactful. But yeah, we have to wait and see. But so far, it really seems there are only 2 pieces. And of course, then the 2, weapon slots that you have as well. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Some very nerdy combat-based questions. I remember this.
Yeah. So last week, I of course said, "Yo, help me out here." I wanted to ask a question in the AMA,
and Skada was there for you.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm gonna, by the way, change this real quick because I'm constantly moving out of frame. So I'm gonna. Yeah,
Let me move out of frame as well, so we look in sync. Yeah, what's up?
Yo, guys, yo.
The great content.
That would be crazy.
At some point, this is going to be a clown show, not a podcast.
You still see 2 webcams, and you hear us talk, but you don't see us.
Every Teams meeting. Hey, can you guys hear me? Can you see me?
Oh my god. Okay. Wait, I have to do it like this.
Oh, wow.
It's the magic, man. Boom.
I first thought it's gonna be like extended version of JorRaptor, but it somehow turned to be a 1x1 again. I was perfectly in frame though. Now I have to move. Still there. Not gonna get rid of me. Well, you could of course close the Discord.
No, I'm not going to. Okay, finally.
Finally, you have enough seats. Yeah. Now that might power grow.
No,
you remember Heroes of the Storm? Did you play it?
Yeah, for a night, and then it was gone. Oh, wow, then it was fine. Okay, so boom. The Guardian enemies. Remember those? Let's get the info first. What do you remember about the Guardians?
Gray. Like my camera. These are like the Phylakis, right?
Yes.
They're Phylaki type enemy, and they are pretty tough, like the toughest enemies in the game. And you asked, or yeah, we were both asking in the stream as well, if they are gonna be infinitely spawning, or is it more like we're gonna fight through them? But yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, what they answered. Is it a nemesis system?
It's let's see, we're here. Uh-huh.
Hmm. It was at the bottom, right?
Yeah, Guardians. Okay. An elite group of badass samurai guardians are used as reinforcements when the alarm is raised in any given province. With their unmistakable wide manes and face masks, guardians aim to strike fear in their opponents and offer some of the most difficult combat you will find in Shadows. So yeah, I was curious, like, is this similar to the zealots from Valhalla, or is it more like the mercenaries from Odyssey? So then we have Skata, of course, amazing, and it's funny that they reacted to Skata with the information.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
They think that guy has an awesome look.
So Skata, thanks for having the pointy fingers. That totally certainly helped. So we learned that Guardians will first spawn when the bell rings. They will go after you and search if they don't see you. You can try to kill them. They are pretty much the hardest archetype, but you can. They won't spawn again, so you can continue to play the castle when infiltrating. However, in the world on roads and in other strongholds, you will see them, and they will respawn when you leave the area. So basically, it really seems to be like basically you go into a camp, you are spotted. They sound the alarm. Of course, you can probably remove the alarm, or of course be.
And then they subscribe with the bell. Yeah,
exactly. The notification bell. And then these guardians will spawn. So, and then they will come similar to, to the mercenaries. They will come to the camp and then help everyone out. So basically, sounding the alarm. It doesn't only suck because all the enemies will be alerted, but also because these guardian enemies will come, and they seem to be unlimited. We actually got a bit more info on them because someone else, I think, asked about it too. So if we access this information as well.
Huh?
Oh,
the information is gone.
No,
there it is.
It's here. So just one question. Will there be enemy types like the Vilakis in Origins or the mercenaries in Valhalla? That's the zealots in Valhalla. Bingo, bango. Powerful opponents that track you down, and you track them down and beat them for loot. We have what we call hunters. Once Nawe and Yasuke are exposed, we have Ronins on the road that can attack you on sight. So these are different than the Guardians. We also have a quest where you are ambushed by Shinobi after completing it. That sounds awesome. But the closest to the Vilakis would be our Guardians that are spawned on the road and in castle once the province is alerted. They will attack you on sight, but they don't exactly know where you are. So basically, once you get spotted in a certain region, the area will just be way more challenging because you will have these Guardians roam as well. And I think there was one. Let's see. I think there was like they were saying that. Yeah, there's like a wanted system. Remember what one of my predictions was? It's pretty wild. Okay, let's go here. They also say, so will there be any sort of notoriety like Mirage or is close to the bounty hunters in Odyssey? We have what we call the wanted system. If you are caught in castles, enemy can ring the bell to alert the castle, and it will quickly escalate to the whole province. Once it happens, a specific archetype, the Guardians, are spawned on the roads and castle, ready to attack you. The wanted system will be on for the whole season, and all the military archetypes on top of the Guardians will attack the protagonist that triggered the alarm. So, as a player, you have a few choices. You can wait for the season to end, and we know that a season will end if you like based on playtime. So if you're in winter, you play for a few hours, suddenly you will see it change and go to the next season. So yeah, you can wait and play with the extra heat until the season changes. You can go explore other regions because again, it seems to be only in that particular region where the alarm went off. or you can switch to your other protagonist and can use your scouts to remove the alert. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I think that really enhances the dual protagonist playstyle, like making really use of two different characters, having them helping out each other. And I mean, since the last gameplay presentation, I got more excited for Yasuke as well, but really getting benefits out of that.
But we of course they say that you can if you want just like play one character for most of the activities. But what is really cool is that they're basically now saying there is a benefit for switching to the other character instead of, hey, I want something else. Like if you're playing Yasuke for 10 hours, you're like, okay, let's switch to Naue to change things up. But there's actually another benefit as well, and that is, okay, if you as Yasuke had the alarm go off and then switch to Naue, they are only looking for Yasuke. They're not looking for Naue. So you can just travel. The Ronins will probably not attack you. The Guardians will be like, we're not for looking for you. So you basically can make the continent easier if you switch characters, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like an awesome incentive to make switching viable and a nice strategy. Maybe there will be parts of the content that might be so tough because you will be spotted all the time or so that you need to switch, do something with Naui, like one part of the mission maybe as well. And then she's a known face, and you better switch to Yasuke or everybody will chase you. I can totally imagine them having like these kind of mission designs in that game.
Yeah.
And that really makes it exciting. But it's also like super interesting to then take the challenge and complete it as just one solo character and have the full tough experience there. I mean,
I love that, right? I love a challenge, and that's what I hated from Valhalla and Origins, where at one point all these Phylaki enemies or these these like tougher enemies could just be gone. So then, when you sounded the alarm, you would not have them spawn anymore. So then there was no real challenge after killing, and there were only like 10 mostly of them. In Valhalla, there were a bit more Zealots, but still, that at one point the world was kind of empty, and in Shadows that does not seem to be the case. They're unlimited.
Makes sense for long replayability, and yeah, I mean, I can see you totally Leroy Jenkinsing through that whole game with Divine Shield and pulling on those bosses with Yasuke and then switching to Naui and killing them from behind like a rogue you are. No, but yeah, I'm curious if the community will like then in those kind of situations will likely switch the character or will take on the challenge. And please tell us in the chat if you're what you are currently aiming for. I mean, we can just make predictions from what we know so far, and we haven't played it all. At least I did not, and you as well, I think. But yeah, I'm super curious. And of course, that would be awesome for co-op as well. Totally, like one character being spotted and the other one then taking down the alarm and working from behind.
We don't know, of course, how co-op is gonna work. It might be that that we cannot explore the open world together, so we will have to wait and see. But yeah, it is interesting if only one person is hunted and the other is not. That could be really.
Or
cool
it will
for
be
sure.
extraction based, like the new Far Cry. No.
Oh, let's hope not.
At least what Tom Henderson says about it.
Yeah.
Not we.
We have Rolf the Gamer asking, can Yasuke roll? Is stamina still a thing? So if we go back to the gameplay, we can kind of see the UI as well. And I think we can answer both questions already, actually. Because we know that Yasuke only has like a sidestep.
Yeah, exactly. No vaulty thing.
Yeah, so because he wants to keep his posture as a samurai. So if he's like dodge rolling also with the armor on, it just makes less sense. I know in the previous games that was not much of an issue. You could, with the Spartan War Hero set, roll around if you wanted as Cassandra or Alexios. But here, of course, posture and the way you fight is more important because you're the samurai. So he can only do like a sidestep. I think there is some footage of it. Like this is the Yeah, basically, like he's like a tower. He will just stand still, and
Yeah.
that's what we also saw with the parry he can do. So he has like a block. So basically, just like with the shield in the previous games, you can just hold the weapon, and then the game will automatically block for you, and you can parry if the enemy swings, and then of course parry at the right time. And with Nawe, if you deflect, that's what her parry is called. You move to the side, and then you are behind the enemy. That's kind of the difference that both characters have. And Nawe can also not block, so she cannot like just hold the blade and then have the game kind of block for you.
Doing the perfect parry.
Yeah, you have to kind of do the perfect parry, or which is called deflect, for her. And it does seem that there's no stamina, which is nice, I think. Right? We don't see
So we
these-
can like maybe dash around for the whole day or do the bunny hop.
Exactly.
it's that.
We did learn though that while Nawe does not have it, so Nawe is of course super agile, and she can probably jump and dodge around like we see her do the roll here, of course. It seems like she can do that all day. While with Yasuke, it seems to be that way as well. Only we learned that his second dodge, so he has like one dodge where he just like moves a bit to the back. His second dodge requires a bit of like some time to recover, so it will not be as smart to spam the dodge with Yasuke, it seems, because there will be a small window where the enemy can probably attack you while you are not able to do anything back.
I'm curious how tough it will be to get into the other characters' movement pattern, etc. when you switch. Like when you regularly switch, will that be tough to like adapt to the playstyle to the for the corresponding character you choose? What do you think?
I think, I mean, there are of course some basic elements that are the same for both characters, but I totally think that if you've been playing Yasuke and then switch to Nawe, you are probably you probably are used to being able to get hit way more often than with Nawe, so you have to play way more defensive and way more careful with her. So I think that I do think starting with Nawe and then going to Yasuke is probably going to be easier, wouldn't you? Because you stealth, like Yasuke cannot really do stealth. So as Nawe, you're basically only doing stealth. You cannot really compare that to him. But in terms of combat, I do think you have to be way more focused on these parries, while with Yasuke it's easier. You can just block, and even if you get hit, you can take way more damage. So I think going from Yasuke to Nawe might mean more time to get used to that playstyle compared to...
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, totally. I'm just curious at this point. We learned a lot, I think, in the last few weeks with the new reveals and all the stuff we saw on Reddit. And yeah, I'm at this point, I'm getting more excited, really. Like the excitement is growing.
There seems to be a lot of depth, more than I expected.
Yeah. I wasn't that excited back then, but as they released a new combat trailer or the combat clips, I would say, with the article in combination, more details about Yasuke, it feels like slowly there's something growing and they're really putting some puzzle together for us, analyzing every brick of it. I mean, the normal consumer wouldn't do that, right? But
No, and I think it will be very interesting to already have this information going into, of course, at one point, we will hopefully be able to preview the game and tell you how it plays and if it's actually good. But already knowing a lot of the basics that you're just like, here's the controller, you get some sort of presentation with some things, but these articles go way more in depth, so I think that's pretty exciting. So going back to the AMA, because we also learned Yasuke has 2 weapon slots. You can choose to go melee and range meaning bow or teppo, or you can equip 2 melee weapons. Personally, I like using 2 melee weapons and switch back and forth. And then, so this is Charles, the game director, and then we have Jonathan, the creative director, saying, with Yasuke, you're able to only equip 1 range weapon at a time, the bow or the teppo, but you can equip 2 melee weapons. Nawe can equip 2 melee weapons as you use his tools for range, which are always available once they are unlocked. So basically, as we were kind of speculating already, with Yasuke, if you want to use her bow or the rifle, you only have one melee weapon.
Yeah.
Which kind of crazy.
I mean, we argued about having 2 range weapons with Yasuke at the same time. Would it make sense to have the rifle and the bow and combine them with a link ability, or what it was called, and then have like an arrow shot from the rifle?
Yeah.
Looking insane. But I think it makes sense to somehow limit that and make sure he always has a melee weapon. I think it's kind of logical to build him that way, but they are now forcing us to do so. I mean, it's okay.
I'm like, so I want to know from people in the chat as well. Will like if you want to use a bow, you only have one melee weapon.
Yeah. That's one thing for sure. Of course,
that's crazy.
But the bow seems to be pretty damn awesome for some stealthy.
Yeah, I want to know how powerful it is in combat as well. Because if it's not good in combat, then like if you just charge into a camp anyways, then 2 melee weapons are way more fun, right? Especially if you can combine their combos.
Yeah, I'm curious how the combination link will work when you have a ranged weapon. Maybe it's not available at all. Could be possible as well. Or there could be a rain of arrows shot from the sky, just shooting everybody around you, which would be an awesome ability as well. So
100%.
Maybe that could be linked.
Let's go to that link ability that you're basically talking about here. With both characters can carry 2 weapons and switch between them in combat. Yasuke is the only protagonist with the ability to switch weapons mid-combo via the link attack ability, which allows him to rapidly string together attacks and weapon abilities in a continuous flow. So I asked about this, and we got a bit more clarity on it. So that's pretty interesting. Link attack is more for melee weapons to keep staggering in the same combo. You can already be pretty fast switching from melee to range by simply holding free aim and using the melee attack. So my question was basically, can you melee bow and then melee again? That seems possible, but that is not the link ability they are talking about. So if you are using 2 melee weapons with Yasuke, it's awesome that you can do 2 light attacks with the katana, then switch to the cannonbow, for example, bam, then switch to the katana again and have a cool, unique combo. Again, it sounds very, very interesting. And then,
so then you can't use it like the way it was designed if you have a ranged weapon with Yasuke, right?
Yeah, if you have a ranged weapon, you basically cannot use the link attack.
Yeah, that's a pity.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, there has to be some downside.
Yeah, for sure. And then I also asked about the fight tournaments, because there are many opportunities to test your skills in combat in Shadows, from surprising encounters in the world, fight tournaments, or dueling against legendary opponents. So I was like, okay, what can you tell me? Any more info you can give about the fight tournaments? The tournament is a quest where you need to defeat a few opponents that are more handcrafted for specific challenges, which is kind of awesome.
So it's a quest?
Yeah, it's a quest. So it doesn't seem to be
not
like an
infinite,
arena.
Or maybe there will be an infinite mode after it, yeah?
I mean, the Odyssey, if you think about it, the Odyssey arena was also a quest.
Yeah.
But it turned into a repeatable activity, and I'm not getting the sense from that. It seems more like it's like a tournament where you fight in a more arena. I mean, in Origins we had that, of course, as well. The Origins arena was way more
The brothers
focused.
remember those.
Oh yeah, I love them.
First
and
arena,
the duelist, who was really like the final boss, of course. Like, I love these encounters, but so it seems like they will have something like that. But I'm curious if it's more like if it will feel like the arena from Origins and Odyssey. I hope so, because I loved these things.
Origins, in fact, had 2 arenas, and maybe I think that's really inviting to get seasonal bosses out there, like for every time frame they choose, they can release new bosses for us to challenge, like Trial of the Gods in a way. And we were really excited about Trial of the Gods back then. So
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I still think
maybe
it was fun, but every week it was kind of the same. The bosses were not very different.
yeah,
That
but the
was
first
great.
3 weeks with Anubis, Sobek, and
Segment.
the third one,
Segment.
yeah, exactly, Segment. That was
Yeah.
quite interesting to have those different kind of bosses.
Yeah, no, 100%. That was
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
Magical times back then in 2017, 18.
Bring it
Yeah.
back. Give us more enemies glitches. So yeah, we have let's see real quick. So Ben is saying bows are my go-to weapon whenever available. We'll definitely be using it as much as possible in Shadows. I really hope the bows are as powerful as in the previous games. We know there are different arrows for them, but I am afraid that a lot of like enemies will just have a lot of armor, and that shooting arrows will just not do any damage. And that's where the Teppo rifle, for example, is better. But obviously that's not a stealth weapon. So because the Teppo rifle will have more armor penetration, that's what they said. So
I'm curious about the range. Maybe you can use it as a sniper rifle from the next mountain.
The range is better than the bow, which is kind of crazy because the bow that Yasuke is using is huge. So that's
Looks like an English longbow, but has short bow range.
But the rifle has more range. We have I must have a bow, so a bow and a cannonbow it will be, says easy mode. That's awesome. So a lot of people want the bow. That's crazy. I think
And the
Yasuke...
cannonbow.
Okay, that's the end of the stream. Thanks everyone.
And I will speak to you in the next one. And goodbye.
We have Black Knight saying, I think Yasuke should carry 3 weapons instead of only 2. He's the combat archetype character, so he should be able to do that. Maybe at one point when we are like 2 years into the life cycle of Shadows, and we have hopefully more weapon types added to the game, they will do something like that. Because yeah, I do think, I still think, and that's not like a prediction we will make at the end of this episode, but I still think the 3 melee weapon types, there will be a point where it will just not feel like enough, especially as Yasuke, as you're fighting as a melee character a lot of the times. So in Valhalla, you obviously had for one character like 7 or 8, 6 weapon types, something like that, right? And then still at one point you were like, I kind of seen it all. And then luckily they were adding more over time. And now only having 3. So if you only play Yasuke and don't like the ranged weapon options, you only have like 3 melee weapons. That's really not a lot. They do seem to have more depth though this time around, but still.
Yeah, or maybe they will add in other characters as DLC with other abilities and weapons.
Yeah. I mean, that's still... I have that as one of the questions if I ever get to interview them again. Like, can you say for certain that there will never be a third character? It would be weird though, because they can only use it in the open world, but not for the story missions. Like, how is that? Maybe for the DLC, if they like have a DLC around that one character. And then you can only use it after finishing the main story of Shadows. Oh my god, it would be amazing. I think
they will answer like a politician around that question for sure. Like, I will answer it that way that we can see the characters from third-person camera angle. Yeah, right.
They will likely, like, I just want them to either say no, it's never gonna happen, or if they leave it open,
we can't
then
comment.
I do think. If they say we're currently only focused on Naue and Yasuke, that tells to me that the door is still open. If they're like, no, this game will only feature these 2 characters, then I think...
I mean, it's kind of the same with New Game Plus for Valhalla. They were investing on it, and they were interested in it, but they eventually didn't make it happen.
Yeah. Betcher saying new weapons in the Helix store. Like, obviously, I do think that one of the reasons why they were adding new weapon types to Valhalla was because, yeah, that's an exciting new thing you can buy as well. But of course, they introduced them. They introduced them for free first. Like the first time you could get the one-handed sword, it was through the festival. There were of course DLCs that had these items as well. So they were part of the season pass. And of course, it was interesting. I do think it is like super exciting to. It was like the thing that you could only get one though for free, and then if you wanted like the dual wield them, you obviously had to buy a second one in the Helix shop. It was interesting with the whole new weapon types. We first thought that they would add the, what was it called, the add gear from the Dawn of Ragnarok to the Helix store first before the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC. They did not do that, but that was like an interesting situation where they were adding new weapon types, and of course you could buy them too. But they were pretty good about like giving them away for free and introducing them to the game for free.
Yeah, curious how it will turn out with the whole microtransaction thingy with two sets. Like, how are they going to reduce the free output of the game?
Yeah.
But they will likely find ways.
And Skata's saying there might be like piercing arrows for Yasuke that he can use to go through armor. Or sure, that could be possible. I hope
like
so.
The ghost arrow of Artemis, of course, as well.
Oh, that was like through the wall, right?
Yeah, it was. It was really piercing.
Yeah. So Maya's saying, I could swear I read that you could have a ranged and 2 melee weapons somewhere below the AMA. Well, Samaya, I appreciate you as always. But I think you joined a little later probably, because if we go here, I think you're probably looking at this. Yasuke has 2 melee slots. You can go melee and range, meaning bow or teppo, or equip 2 melee weapons. And then I think Jonathan makes it a bit more confusing. Like with Yasuke, you're able to equip one ranged weapon at a time, the bow or teppo, but you can equip 2 melee weapons. So it does sound like you have the range slot and the 2 melee weapon slot. I get that, but that's not it. Because if we're going to Charles, why would he be saying I like using 2 melee weapons and switch back and forth? Why would you say that if that was always possible? No, it's really a choice. You have to go either melee and range or equip 2 melee weapons. Hope that explains it. The DLC character will be Frankie Boy.
Likely, yeah. Maybe I will speak the role in English now. If they need someone with a German accent, I'm your man.
That would be crazy.
I can totally say, welcome to Frankfurt. We have Lederhosen.
I hope this is not gonna happen. No.
At some point, you're gonna have to hear me. Besides from the stream, of course, yeah.
I wanted to go over this.
A new X post, yeah.
Yeah, a new X post, because we just haven't touched on this yet. Obviously, we will be talking about more AMA stuff on the channel. And I saw some people ask, why didn't you not cover it? The thing is that, we just put up another video about shadows. And I want to like kind of space it out. I think from now till probably like mid-January there will not be a lot of Shadows news. So I could like go crazy and publish 3 Shadows videos with all the info, and then not have any Shadows content for a few weeks. I prefer to kind of space it out. So that's kind of why I will be giving my reaction to the AMA a bit later. And kind of like go a bit more in depth on it. And we of course touched on quite some information in this stream already. But I wanted to quickly go over this because we have not talked about it here. And I probably think that some people have either forgot about some of these things or have never heard about them. So what do you think about the fact that there are now 3 levels of effectiveness for the assassinations? So you have the white, which like the insta-kill. You have the yellow, which deals some damage. And then you have a red, which basically means there's no effect.
Like Assassin's Creed Red. I mean, you will likely be... Or will you likely be able to turn it off in the settings as for the last games?
yeah,
Yeah.
so this is like yellow. If we go here, so yeah, there you see. Okay, I'm doing some damage, and that was like there was in Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla. It was always you either do some damage or you instantly kill them. And now in red you have the red option too, where the enemy is basically like, oh, I see you coming. I'm not gonna let you hit me, and then oh.
I mean, if it's optional, everything is like, okay, that is optional. Still, it's also nice if developers commit to a feature because they think it's awesome. Like that sometimes gives you the feeling that it's not awesome. It makes sense in terms of level progression, I would say. Also in terms of having like the heaviest armor in the game. Yeah. And there we can see RB assassinate red. And it's
Yeah.
looking like Jordan is gonna love the red color popping up on the enemy and then being able to not kill him or not damage
Yeah,
him
so
at
you would,
all.
yeah, it's not
Uh,
smart to
I mean,
assassinate this
we
target.
already knew about the not guaranteed successful assassinations, but we back then thought it was like maybe random or so. Yeah, I think now we know it's just this feature, right? It's not like a random thing, but it's enemies
Yeah,
are
yeah.
too
So
high or
and
too hefty.
yeah, and it is based on your hidden blade upgrades, so you can like
Mm,
upgrade that similar to Origins, most recently, and you can also have gear that give you extra
mm,
assassination damage, and it also seems that the direction in which you approach the target and assassinate them also impacts the damage
mm.
that you do, which is quite interesting.
I
So
mean, yeah,
yeah,
it's a
I like that.
progression system. I like progression systems in general, so it's kind of rewarding to then at some point be able to assassinate those enemies that you weren't able earlier, that you maybe really struggled with, and it's gonna be like feeling so fluent in the future then.
Yeah, and
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 you have to
having
go
that,
through some pain to then have the successful living after as now.
yeah, and also, I mean, of course, these games are not realistic at all, but it kind of
Mm.
makes sense, right? That you as a character go like get better and better and better, and then eventually are able to, yeah, assassinate people you first were not able to. And so having the guaranteed assassination that you can turn that on, I know that's like what the previous games obviously were like. So I'm like happy that they have the option, but it is basically cheating. You are cheating you are bypassing a a big progression system in the game. Um,
Indeed. I mean, for Valhalla, you were able to cheat through that progression as well with the guaranteed assassination. And with the guaranteed assassination, it was easy for you to go into an endgame area and then just play stealth and kill all the guards there, which wouldn't. And I did so for the like the river raids, not the separate feature, but the normal ones, right?
oh yeah,
And I cleared some areas with that on, and I just got everything for the upgrades for the settlement at a part in the game where I wasn't or shouldn't have been able to upgrade my settlement.
to be fair
Like,
though, I think in Valhalla because you had the mini game, so like that was always easy. Even the like, of course, the mini game
mhm,
had sort of the zoom in, and then it would be like smaller. The sort of window that you were successful was smaller. The higher level the enemy was, but
mhm,
at one point you kind of figured it out. So even with the small window, you were still going to be successful. So then turning on the guaranteed assassinations for me just meant okay, I don't have to do that stupid mini game all the time. Um, but in Shadows, there is not going to be a mini game like this from the looks of it. So then it really feels like this flip in the menu is basically, yeah, you're cheating in a way. But again, it's nice that it's there. In Valhalla, it was less cheating because there was already a mini game in place that could get you, or like an ability, basically an unlockable thing that could get you the one-hit assassinations if you basically did the timing right, which you at one point almost always did. So
yeah, exactly. And then at some point you turn it off because you were so awesome at winning mini games
yeah,
as well. But yeah, I think I like that feature, giving me a feeling of progression. Why not?
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. So yeah, some enemies react differently to the smoke bombs. We already kind of went over that, which was of course kind of the one of the cool. I think it's like one of the first things here. Like, I, I think that's just awesome. Like these are basically samurai, so samurai will be like, yeah, we're
mhm.
not getting tricked by that, and the regular foot soldiers will be. I am kind of like curious, like nowadays, like running, but the enemies are still there. It's like, so she's running away from them. Um, so I think that's still a cool feature. We can
It
like
is,
quickly
but
go.
it's gonna cause some chaos, right? For our planning, maybe.
Yeah,
When planning,
yeah, it makes the smoke bomb way less powerful than it was in say a Mirage or something.
mm,
Um, so yeah, whistling is also less effective if you are alerted in a camp, because like enemies, if enemies spot you and you successfully go into stealth again, they will be more suspicious going forward and actively look for you in pairs. Tricks like whistling will then also further increase their suspicion, so not work properly. Uh, so
that's
yeah,
great. I mean,
yeah.
they really worked on the artificial intelligence of the enemies.
We have to wait and see, of course. I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah,
It
it
sounds
sounds
great.
great, but
But
we know so far they will likely be more aggressive when in groups, be more defensive when solo, pair up when seeing you in stealth and losing you. That really sounds like the NPCs start to do logical things that real people would likely do in those kind of situations, and not like the NPCs in AC Origins. Remember them? Like, I don't know, that old grandma getting something like maybe a trash can and then trying to beat you up. That soldier that just beat up 30 Spartans.
yeah,
It was just insane. It was
yeah,
fun, but
yeah. There was a lot to be decided, and it's cool that next to things like, hey, that you can go prone, hide in the water that way, that you can remove the light, so you can like hide in the
mhm.
dark. Like next to these stealth improvements, they also are really working on these enemies. But again, I'm always of the mind that uh, that's where I'm like, I kind of heard stuff like this before, so we have to kind of wait and see. Obviously, this does sound way cooler than what we heard before, but I think especially after Star Wars Outlaws, which was the most recent stealth
Mm.
game from Ubisoft, these enemies were very stupid. So seems like they're doing the
Yeah.
right thing with this, but I really want to wait and see if it actually is as impactful as they're saying.
I mean, they always say it's the biggest, best, and most ambitious title. So,
Obviously, yeah, and it's cool that they give some reasons why. So,
by the way, The Witcher 4 is the biggest, best, and most ambitious title of the series yet.
whoa, really? Wow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You
Would
know,
be crazy
Witcher.
though if they're making the next Witcher game. It's not going to be as good as The Witcher 3, but still, please be excited.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
Please give us
yeah,
a 6 on Metacritic
yeah.
press.
Let's see if there are some other things that we haven't like talked about yet. So I think this is like interesting.
Mm,
The kunai seem similar to the throwing knives, allowing for one-shot kills, while the shuriken stun enemies momentarily and can break things like lanterns in the environment. And I kind of mentioned it
yeah.
that in Mirage we of course have the throwing knives that were able to do everything. Um, that basically were able to break things in the environment and also one-shot kill guards. Now it seems like they made that throwing knife and divided the things that it could do between the shuriken and the kunai in shadows.
Yeah,
So
it kind of makes the kunai, of course, a little bit more valuable or much more valuable, depending on your goal, of course, on the mission you're currently rocking. Maybe there's a
yeah,
no-kill mission as well, but yeah.
and it's kind of nice that you will have way more shuriken that you can just throw around, and it makes kind of sense because if it was like the throwing knife from Mirage, then you would be like, oh, I'm not gonna destroy this lamp because I want to
Nah.
use the kunai to one-shot kill an enemy. And now because it's different, you can save the kunai for enemies and the shuriken for environmental things. So
Yeah.
that's kind of nice. The mount system should have more depth, with saddles and mounts seemingly having different stats. So this is really one of the things where I'm like, we have to wait and see how this all shaking out. But this seems to be happening, and that makes sense if we look at some of the gameplay. I'm not sure if it's this. I think it kind of is the world trailer, right? Where we just have seen many cool armor sets for mounts. I'm not sure if it was in this.
I mean, having stats on a mount can be interesting, but
here, yeah.
Normally, I would only expect like customization in terms of aesthetics.
Yeah, so basically, it seems that in Shadows, you can just buy a horse with a different color and then put like a saddle and armor on it, instead of it being part of that mount. And it actually has some stats. So where in Valhalla you, of course, at one point very early in the game, had all the mount upgrades. It seems like there's a bit more depth in Shadows where you have to make choices, basically, that if you want to use the saddle that has more speed, go for that, or the one
more stamina, or
exactly.
Do you think we'll get saddlebags as inventory space?
I mean, it depends. Like if it's like Valhalla, where you basically have an unlimited inventory, then you won't need it. So we will have to kind of wait and see. I mean, I think they're gonna do the Valhalla system because there's no random loot in this game, from the looks of it. So yeah, then you can just carry everything. So then you won't need the saddle things. But it would be cool if you, for example, with Naue could like refill your tools or something by going back to your mount. That would be awesome, but I'm not sure if that's something. Maybe in a Helix mount, we'll let you do that.
Maybe a Helix mount will give us the best stats in the game and let us be able to explore Japan a way we never did before with flying mounts. Whoa, for money.
Don't give
money
them
only.
The
a hippogriff
mount is back.
Yeah,
exactly.
Chips
I mean, they did do that with Valhalla, by the way, where you could have like the Pegasus mount from Odyssey, or like the Griffin, like the mount with the wings, but only in the Helix pack. So they did do that. They did do that. Before.
Yeah, exactly. And the no fall damage was not needed because we had it anyways.
Yeah. Now in Valhalla, you had the break fall, but it wasn't like as good as the wings with the mount. So
yeah. Well, no fall damage is still it was awesome. Like, you can totally stream your game, look into the chat, blah 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 blah, then you fall off a cliff. Oh yeah, still living. All good. While playing Valhalla, I eventually died a few times when being in Norway and live streaming. So
remember in Valhalla where at one point people figured out that you could jump off a cliff and then go into the menu and then out of the menu and then you would break your fall damage. There were
That was right at the start of the launch.
And then, you could do a heavy attack, I think, on the ground as well, and that would also negate your fall damage, which was kind of funny.
It was.
But they obviously removed those things.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was kind of interesting though with the no fall damage mode for Cassandra. But interesting sums it up in a way.
Let's see. What about the black and white effect? My question to the AMA: do you find this cool? Let me see. We're gonna pull that up, Jetlaner. Let's see.
That's interesting. Yeah, black and white effect. Black box missions. They didn't answer to that. Can we disable? Okay.
Oh, you already see the answer? Okay, we're going here. Jetlaner, it's your time to shine. With Kill Rainer on Reddit. Let's have a look. Oh, let's do it like this.
It's not looking good for us.
Can you disable the kill cam black and white effect? No, you can't. It's specific calibration for unique targets. If you refer to the special abilities effect, it's part of our special abilities realization.
Mm.
Mm.
Error.
This to me really feels like something they will change post launch. This is gonna be one of
Players
the
are gonna ask for it. Let's make a poll.
This is gonna be okay. Yeah, let's make a poll. Where of course every week we want to make a poll. Can I make a poll here? Oh, I'm on the wrong account.
Oh damn.
It's gonna be
Maybe
no.
Brock can help you out,
I can
or
quickly change it. I'm not sure. If
oh,
Brock
you
can...
were on the JorRaptor official account, I guess.
Yeah,
But you have to go
exactly.
to the Assassin JorRaptor official.
But yeah, we're back. We're back. Okay, poll. And I'm gonna like
By the
show
way,
the effect for people who are like, what are you guys talking about? So we of course are going here.
is the
Using the
JorRaptor light
ability,
sign behind you pretty bright?
you can turn it on, but then it would be like, so this is the black and white effect.
Yeah, it is.
And we have like another example right here.
Yeah, we also had one in the first gameplay reveal for yesterday as well.
Exactly. But it's basically when you do an ability that affects.
I mean, I can totally understand it as an effect for a special target to show off that. But for the abilities, I mean, it's somehow unlinking from reality. And I think that's what they want to transfer with it.
Do you want a feature to turn off the black and white effect?
How new is this info? Oh, it's pretty new. The AMA is from 7 days ago, so pretty new.
It's the most recent info on the game.
So you have to vote yes if you want to turn it off. You have to vote no if you do not want to turn it off.
Thanks, Brock. No, random guy, you can vote as well. Haha, we got you.
So right now it's looking 65% want a turn off feature, 40% are fine with it being turned on forcefully.
This is gonna be, like I said, one of the most requested features. And they're now saying no, and they are gonna add it. They're gonna add it like 100%. I'm giving it 2 months.
Yeah.
That's my, and I hope it's faster. More options, the better. But I won't turn it off, to be honest.
I think they really missed. I don't know. They should have done some proper research on that. I'm not sure why they put it in.
Yeah, they're giving a lot of options, and then to not like include that.
I can't understand it. Like, for sure, that's a feature a lot of people would want to have. And
I mean, that turn it on by default, so then people don't even know you can turn it off, but just give people the option if they don't want to see it. Because I agree.
Right now,
I'm not a fan.
70% want a turn off of the effect.
Yeah.
Or at least a feature to turn it off if they want to turn it off. Let's say it that way. And 30% are totally fine, yeah.
Yeah. Betcher's saying, did they answer anything about the battle pass in the AMA? No, I don't think so. So that's, of course, one of the Animus Hub questions. They did say that they will talk more about it before release. Betcher's saying prediction. So yeah, that could totally be my prediction. But we are doing predictions, of course, for things that we think will be happening at launch. So I don't think I think this will be like a requested feature. When like we ever do an update video for the game, it's gonna be one of the top comments. Let me turn off the black and white feature. Lock it in. Okay.
Yeah, I still can't believe they won't let us turn it off. I was expecting it to be 100%.
Yeah, same. Mr. Enigma is saying, I really hope they add a feature to put any season we like after the story ends. Yeah, I agree with that too. I do think they will probably add that as well, but I do think that's like later into the post-launch, because they really are saying, like, we are now hearing more and more how important the seasons are to the systems as well. So we of course learned that these guardians, so basically these mercenaries, these hunters that will spawn, they will be around in the area until the season is over. So if you can go into the menu to change the season, then you can basically bypass a pretty important, challenging gameplay mechanic. So yeah, that won't work. So yeah, it's certainly interesting, but maybe going back, like at one point it might be about giving people choices, and maybe if you then are traveling back to the home base and can then change it, so you cannot like switch it off, like change it in the menu, but you really have to go to a particular spot in the world, and then you can change it. Maybe that works. I mean, it's kind of similar to the one-hit assassination, because then you're also bypassing a challenging mechanic. So I would argue that it's kind of the same, but
yeah. Did you
Yeah.
also see the question and answer regarding the modern day? I will post it in the chat. So the question,
Oh,
I will post it in the chat, so you don't need. So there was someone asking about the modern day aspects, and the answer was there will be a limited modern day story in Shadows. That will introduce a broader modern day narrative in the Animus Hub. So there will, though, be modern day in Shadows.
that is wild, because they said that there was not going to be one.
Exactly. I think. Yeah. I mean, they replaced not with a little limited modern day part to introduce it, but I was gonna think it's part of the Animus Hub anyways already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it seems
So
that
maybe Animus Hub is not ready for release.
I
Could be
think
possible.
I think if people, like, of course, with the start of like basically what I think why they said there was first not going to be modern day story is that there, like, it will probably be maybe similar to Mirage, where it's only like at the start of the game, but you will never be interrupted throughout the game. But they still want to remind you that yes, you're in this Animus, and hey, there's this bigger story. So maybe it's more like a reminder that if you want the modern day, you can still you can experience it in the Animus Hub.
There's someone ringing, and then they go, you're here in the Animus.
Yeah, exactly. There, I mean, otherwise I can see people being like, "Hey, I have finished Shadows, and there's no modern day. What the heck happened with that?" And yeah, if they have like one small part where at least you're like, okay, so if I wanna see more from this, I have to go to the Animus Hub to kind of see that. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. But yeah, maybe I think them saying limited modern day, like, I really think it will be like Mirage. And even that did not have a lot. Yeah, right? That first cutscene.
That was pretty non-existing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Maybe.
kind of forgot about it, but it's like the first thing you see when you boot up that game.
Yeah, that was like Desmond Miles
Yeah.
talking, right?
Yeah,
think.
Akai AC notoriety is linked to seasons, so chasing seasons would be a cheat. It's true, but again, turning on the one-hit assassinations is also a cheat in this game. So you can make a case for both of it.
Yeah, but I'm curious. I'm curious how it will turn out, how the modern day will be integrated, or it will... Maybe it will be like to the Animus Hub. I'm not sure yet. Maybe accessing the modern day part of Shadows can only be accessed in the hub if you have the game. But I thought they would make it free for everyone in the hub, right?
Yeah,
So
for
it
sure.
was-
So I'm not
It
sure.
seems
I
like,
think you need Shadows to be able to access the hub.
Because Shadows is right now the only game in the hub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
make
if they
sense.
maybe launch Assassin's Creed Invictus, like the free to play multiplayer game, then I think everyone can get into the hub.
And then everybody sees, there's an other Animus at the back of the room, and it's called Shadows. Oh, I'm gonna check it
Whoa.
out.
What? And it has mythical DLC out right now. I wanna play
Save
that.
30% with code JorRaptor.
Use my code in the Animus store, please.
Use
So
mine.
yeah, we have this as well. Hey Joe, so I'll be trying to answer this one without spoiling anything. Shadows will lay the groundwork for a new chapter of the modern narrative that will be different than what we've done in the past, but that is connected to our modern day lore and will develop over time in the Animus Hub and subsequent titles. The franchise team will have more on this soon. As for test media, we've had to retool some of the AC Memories lore. So this was a person basically saying, yo, Basim, modern day plot. But Basim is not in the game, not in the modern day. But I'm sure he will at one point show up. Samaya, thanks for the super chat. Imagine the ability to change seasons post-game for replayability, and then certain post-launch content only being available on certain seasons. Having challenge missions for seasons, that would be cool. I agree. Like right now, because it's such an important part of the game, they're not giving us these tools. But I could see them, like at one point, giving us more freedom to customize our experience. Like a year after launch, after we've been like, and we kind of have to wait and see how, if the, like right now, like it will of course look different, but what is the impact really that bad when playing one season versus the other? So maybe when we play, it's like, oh yeah, the seasons change every 2 hours or every hour. I don't need this feature. So it kind of depends, I think, on how it's implemented. But I do think it will be another like requested feature, because that's always the case. People want more options.
Yeah.
And kind of forcing people to play the game one way has never really worked out. It always feels like they will then add features later on. Like the time of day, sometimes in some games you could not change the time of day, and then that was like always one of the features they added later on. So,
and we know for sure likely it's gonna have like photo mode available for switching seasons, as at least for aesthetics.
I hope so, but that's of course only in the photo mode, so yeah, that's just a limited time. So we ended the poll on Twitch with black and white. Everyone wants the feature to turn it off. And on YouTube we have the do you want a feature to turn off the black and white effect? 64% says yes, and no says 36. So it's still a majority, but it's not as crazy as on Twitch. Okay, of course, at the end of every episode, we make a prediction. Do you have one?
Want to make some prediction about modern day or so? I don't have one yet already.
Okay, and I know it doesn't matter. Let's see if there's like anything in the things we discussed. That would be like a fun prediction.
I can come up with a prediction about a certain skill, maybe. Like an upgrade for a skill or so?
Sure,
Would that be fine? Yeah? Yeah, then I have one.
Sure. Okay, go ahead, I would say.
Yeah, so my prediction is there will be an upgrade to the smoke bomb ability, making it possible that all the enemies hit by the smoke bomb will behave in the way we want them to behave. So either all go out or all stay in.
But okay, so basically make the smoke bomb better, so the enemies that we now see run out will actually stay in.
Yeah, basically
That's pretty interesting. So for people who are like, what are we talking about? Of course, we're talking about this. So that it's like an upgrade that... I mean, that would be cool. That would be kind of cool. And that would make the smoke bomb suddenly way more powerful. But I kind of like this feature. But yeah, it's now kind of chaotic.
It
Similar
really is.
To Outlaws, where the smoke bomb is just really not good because it makes a sound. So everyone hears it. And then the enemies are just alerted. I'm just used to the smoke bomb being super OP.
Yeah. I really liked the aesthetics of the smoke bomb in Mirage, by the way.
Yeah, I loved it.
That looked so great.
Smoke, yeah.
I mean, it was very alerting, but...
I mean, yeah, it was, yeah. I thought the smoke bomb, that was awesome, but I hope... maybe they have like a cool red smoke effect later on. I would love to have that back.
Yeah, so that if you're fine with that, that would be my prediction.
That's totally a cool prediction. I'm gonna say... I'm gonna make a prediction about the tournament. So of course we had that answer. Let's see if I still have it here. um, about like the tournaments. So there are going to be tournaments where you can like test your skills, and we then learned that the tournament is a quest where you need to defeat a few opponents that are more handcrafted for specific challenges. I'm gonna say that we can repeat these enemies, and because I think that's pretty obvious, don't you think?
Mm.
And I'm gonna say that there will be some sort of score at the end.
Like in Origins.
Yeah, so you will see, okay, I've like done this is my time. So there will be some sort of
Or Infinite mode or so, and there will be a leaderboard or just score.
I'm not saying leaderboard. I'm just saying that at the end of that encounter, you will see how you've done. So you will see. Okay, I got my best record because I now took out this enemy in 2 minutes instead of 3, something like that. And I did maybe this amount of damage, and I used the 1,000 healing or something. So you will see sort of you will see how you did. That's what I like. The specific parts I would not like look into, but I do think.
So I wrote down tournament enemies can be repeated, and there will be some sort of score at the end of the fights.
Yeah, telling you how you did. Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense in terms of interconnectivity with the Animus Hub, maybe co-op elements, and having like some form of tournament under us AC Shadows players. So maybe there will also be a leaderboard then if we have the scoreboards already.
Yeah.
And then you can see JorRaptor on place 1 and Frankie Boy on place 13.
What?
Yeah, my ad at YouTube is Frankie Boy 13. So
Maya saying yours making such a safe prediction. Am I though?
I mean, it has been like this in Origins. Yeah, replayable and scoreboard. In Odyssey, we had the replayability. Yes. Did we have the scoreboard? Not too sure.
I'm not sure either.
Maybe people. I think we just got.
But here, like,
congratulations.
I don't think it's like safe, because if you read the comments, the tournament is a quest where you need to defeat few opponents that are more handcrafted for specific challenges. It could be a one-time thing. This could totally be you'd go do this mission and then you have to like compete in this tournament, fight these enemies, and then after that the tournament is over, right? So, like, I already would argue that having them be repeatable is not like, I mean, it can happen, but it's not like 100% confirmed. And then having the scoreboard, I think it's a nice wrinkle to it, because I really said like any info you can give on the fight tournaments. So yeah, he could have shared everything. He could have been like, yeah, it's kind of like the arena from Odyssey, where you have like multiple challenges, you can repeat them and get loot. But it's not that. Yeah. It's different.
I mean, right now, it's likely that it will be repeatable. The scoreboard board is the wake thing, I would say. Yeah.
Now I almost want to make a prediction with Samaya saying that no, it's not going to be repeatable, but just have something fun. But yeah, we will see. What if tournaments repeat like Valhalla Seasons? I mean, I wanted the tournaments, because they said tournaments, like plural. Like, I wanted the tournaments to be more than just a quest. But it could still be more, because in Odyssey and Origins, even, as someone pointed out in the chat as well, it is a quest as well. But
with Valhalla, like, they had these tournaments as well for the seasonal updates, like the seasonal events as well.
Yeah, but that was
in this shadowy arena.
Yeah, that was
remember
not
that.
Yeah.
Not sure if there was a scoreboard as well. Maybe.
Yeah. Make a prediction on those mods. What do you mean, Satan? What do you mean?
On the moderators of the YouTube channel, or mods for AC Shadows?
Make a prediction on those mods. Okay, but
Oh, we're already pretty late. Yeah, time flies by, right? When we talk about AC,
exactly. So
we don't talk about awesome climatization, but the Creed.
No, only fun stuff.
And now you can really turn off the stream after my bad joke.
Yes, please. Okay. So yeah, we will be here every Wednesday, but Fragnard is taking a well-deserved break, and
Yes.
that does mean that, of course, next week is Christmas as well. So
Yeah.
that does mean that we will be out for the year, but we will be back before you know it, and then I promise you,
January
weekly.
8th, I will be back.
Okay, January 8th. And then I promise
January
you,
15th? Well, maybe. It's freezing cold, but yeah.
Oh, you're back on the 8th, but you are not able to do the show yet, you think?
No, I'm able to do the show on 8th, of course.
Okay, no, then
Yeah.
we can we're back on the 8th. So not like on the 1st. And that's good. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
on the 1st I'm still in South Africa,
Oh yeah.
rocking
Nice.
the bush.
Nice. As people do there. Okay, that sounds good. In that case, yeah, then we will be back, and then we will be back every week.
Back.
And then it's gonna be crazy, because then we will
Have the
then
juicy
the marketing
parts.
will go crazy. As some people say in the chat, oh, the marketing has been slow. Sure, but nowadays it doesn't matter. If you just like put out 5 trailers 1 week before launch, that's enough for people. People are just really focused on what's happening this week or next week and not looking too far ahead. Only we are, because we are die hard. We want to know everything. So thank you all for watching. As always, we will be back soon, of course. I will have many Assassin's Creed videos on the channel. Will you too while you're gone, or are you? What's the
I will
plan?
likely focus on The Witcher right now. Yeah. Like
There's
Christmas
only
always
one
gets
cinematic
me.
trailer.
No, Witcher 3. I will replay it. I
Oh.
will make some time relevant guides with the latest
Damn.
stuff. And yeah, I'm back into the mood. Like
Okay, cool.
every year at Christmas, I get into this phase where I simply want to play Witcher. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
and I only cover the stuff I want to cover. So right now, I'm into Witcher. So
Awesome. No, that's good for you. I will of course be covering the AMA, some other stuff as well. So look forward to that. We will have other videos up as well. Of course, we'll be looking at 2025 because it's a crazy gaming year. I will have some other yearly videos that we always do up as well. So for the rest of the year, so it will be exciting. And I will still do my Monday streams. So those will still be happening on the JorRaptor React channel. So yeah, I know I'm like I've maybe too many channels at the moment, but hey,
5 or so.
but hey, yeah, you can catch me live there every Monday. So yeah, we will still do that live show and then be back with this Assassin's show on the 8th. Hope you have a great rest of the year. If you're, yeah, I will probably speak to you again. But for you, Fragnard, have a nice trip.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Enjoy your Christmas. Have a nice.
Yes, you too.
In Germany, we say Guten Rutsch, which means like good slide into the new year.
Yeah. Good slide into the new year. Wow. Okay. You learn something new every day. But cool. In that case, Aziz Maya asked free roam today. I think so. I have already contacted Luke, and he's not awake yet. I think so. We will totally be doing that. So yeah,
Luke sleepens. Yeah.
Okay, it's really time to go. Hey, thanks everyone for watching. See you next one. Goodbye.